Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel and to my first ever YouTube video. I'm very excited. So what I want to talk about today is a bit sharing some tips or like reflection points, I guess, that I learned or were useful to me to navigate my quarter life crisis, I guess that's how you can call it. To give you a bit of context, I just finished my studying my university program. I studied for 5 years for a career that I realized it's not what I want to do. And I'm sure I'm not the only one in this situation. So I think I have a few tips that could help you figure out, because I think that the hardest thing about this kind of like life crisis or turning points is that understanding if actually it's real. Because I was thinking all the time, like, it's in my mind, I'm crazy. How could I think that this is not for me? Like, because I was also like really lucky to, it's not like I was forced to study what I studied. It's not like my parents imposed a career on me. So it really came from me, and I was truly interested in what I studied, and I've no regrets over it. Like, I would do it again. But it got to the point where, like, I just realized it was not right for me. Like, it served me until that point, but then it was not what I needed any longer. So again, I think that the hardest part, or what took me the most energy, and what I think I've just accepted, and it's been like, I don't know, almost a year, I guess, well, a bit less maybe, but it's realizing that you're going through a crisis, that you maybe need to change something, and accepting it. Sounds easy, right? Well, well, hopefully I'm gonna make it a bit easier for you by giving you some reflection points to reflect on. And some questions that you can ask yourself, and so that hopefully you can understand if you're truly on the right path, if you're aligned with what you want in life, or if maybe it's time to take a step back and look somewhere else. So the first point that I wanted to address, but it was very, very relevant for me, was my body. So my question to you, if you want to reflect on it, is like how are you doing, like on a physical level? Like, how's your body? For me, when I started working a 9-to-5 job in consultancy, which is what I really thought I wanted to do, I was really happy when I got that opportunity, and I was so excited. And then a couple of months in, I started getting like awful sleep, really painful periods, like that I had to take painkillers to go about my day during my period. I had to take melatonin to like fall asleep. I started to get like bad acne, and just overall feel very like I was always on edge. I was always stressed. I was always like super, I don't know, emotional, easily triggered. And I just thought, oh, well, this is the stress of working. This is just something that I'm not used to. But like, I remember I would come home exhausted and thinking, like, how do people do this? How do people work a 9-to-5 job? And then the other voice in my head would tell me, oh, come on, Stella, grow up. This is what everyone does all the time. You just have to, how do you say, toughen up and just do it. which I'm very glad I didn't. I'm very glad that I was able to listen to my body, and I thought, okay, there's something wrong here. I cannot be 25 and, you know, having PCOS, having to take painkillers all the time, having to take sleeping pills. Like, I was just like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, something is wrong. The second point, which kind of melts a bit into the first one in the sense of lifestyle, is I invite you to ask yourself, is the path that you're on, like studying or career-wise, aligned with the lifestyle that you want to live? There's this nice quote that I stumbled upon a few days ago, which I do not remember who is it from, but sorry. But it said, and I also don't remember the quote perfectly, but it was something along the lines of, intelligence is not about IQ, but it's about designing your ideal life, or designing the life that works for you, that you want. And the way it resonated for me was, I know now that I want flexibility in my job. I don't want someone to tell me to be productive from 9 to 5. I don't want to be tied to someone else's schedule. I don't want to work 40 hours a week necessarily, you know? I don't want to work in an office. I don't want to be sitting 8 hours a day. Because I feel like that's not what my body and mind need. So this is a question you can ask yourself, right? Is the work that you're doing, or the career that you're working towards, aligned with the lifestyle that you want? Not only that you want, but that it's good for you, like that makes you thrive. I remember also, you know, because the thing with 9 to 5 jobs is that it's never a 9 to 5 job, right? Maybe you have to commute a few hours before, so you know, it's like I don't know, it's realistically a maybe 7:30 to 6:37 job. And I remember I would get home and be so tired that I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't have energy to do sports. I didn't have energy to hang out with friends. And as I'm talking, I'm saying, like, I don't want to, you know, shame anyone who has a 9 to 5 job. I don't mean to say that 9 to 5 jobs are bad for you. It just wasn't what works for me. You know, I'm sure that there are a lot of people that thrive on 9 to 5 jobs, that makes them feel fulfilled, that makes them feel aligned. And that's great. My goal here is just to share my experience and help you reflect on some things that might benefit you in your path. Another tip, or another, I don't know, point to reflect on is, I heard this from, she's an amazing lady. She has a YouTube channel. It's called Soulful Revolution. And she was talking about, like, she used to work in, I don't know, for like an American TV program, like, I don't know, like a famous one. And then she quit everything to open her YouTube channel. She's a tarot reader. And go check her out, because she's got really great vibes. And she was, in one video, she says how, like, the coolest thing about her working for this TV program was telling people what she did for work, you know? And that was it. And I resonated so much when I heard it, because also for me, it was like, oh yeah, like I'm in consultancy, environmental sustainability. And it just felt good to say it. It just felt, okay, this is something that um, like I felt proud of. Yeah, and rightfully in a way, because I think it's needed. It's a sector that it's very much needed. But at the same time, I was like, okay, it's cool to say what I'm the field that I'm in, but is it actually like what else? You know, I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't like, yeah, well, mostly I didn't like the way it made me feel. And again, not because it was a bad place, a bad environment, or but just because it wasn't good for me. So this is also something to reflect on. It's like, are you truly proud of the work that you do because it makes you feel fulfilled, because it makes you, um, it makes you exciting, it makes you push push yourself and learn new things and like, thrive? Or do you just get, the thrill from saying to people what you do? I think this is a very good reflection point. uh Sorry, I have a list because there's no way I would remember all the things I want to talk about. So the other thing I wrote on this list is that um, I summed it up as the right things come easily. And for me, it's after I finished my master's and my internship, I started applying for jobs. At that point, I still hadn't realized. I was still like not feeling good, like physically, I was like sleeping bad, stressed, having period problems, and but my internship was coming to an end, and I started getting this like anxiety about like, oh my god, like I'm finishing my studies. What comes next? I need to have something lined up. So I started applying to like so many jobs that were in the field that I like had done my internship in, so like environmental sustainability and development, and but they all had the same problem, which were all like office jobs, exactly the same one that made me sick or unaligned, or like that wasn't right for me. But I wasn't aware at that point, at the moment. And everyone around me kept telling me, like, because I remember I would apply for jobs and read the description and be like, this feels exactly like I should be doing, but I don't want to do it. Like, I find it so boring. I find it so, I don't know, meaningless. And not that it was, but it was for me, right? Again, like it's not an objective thing of like things are good or bad. It's just things are right or not for one, like for oneself. And all those jobs were not right for me. But I would apply anyways because I had this fear of like, oh my god, I'm gonna be unemployed. Uh, I'm gonna, finish my studies, and people will ask me, oh, what do you do? What next? And I would be like, like I don't know. I didn't want to feel that. So I was like, from this place of anxiety, I was applying to anything. Well, yeah, not really anything, but yeah, actually, like things that I didn't like, things that I didn't want to do. And the application process also was draining for me. And I know it's draining in general, like it's not fun to apply for jobs, but I would really like have to write motivation letters and be why, like I don't even know why I want this job. Like I don't even know what my motivation behind this is. So, and sure enough, I didn't get any of those jobs. I got one interview and they ghosted me. Like they're like, oh yeah, you'll hear back from us in 1 week. And never heard back from them. And all the others just replying with like emails, oh, thank you, but we selected another candidate. Great. And now actually I'm like thankful because I know that again, going back, I know that the right things, like looking back at my life, and I think there's something you can also do, right? Look back at your life, the right things, the things that make you feel good. They come easy. Not, which doesn't mean they come effortless, you know? For some things that we like, we have to put effort into them. We have to put dedication. We have to, you know, yeah, put some effort into it. But it's not draining, right? It's not exhausting. And it doesn't come with anxiety. It doesn't come with sleepless nights. It doesn't come with, I don't know, just illnesses, right? The things that are right for us, for first of all, also the things that are right for us often come up when we don't expect them, or come up without us planning it, right? Like opportunities, they just come to us. And the more we chase, the more we like force things, usually the less they work. I don't know, like it's like in relationships, right? Sometimes you want someone so bad, or you want to like be with that person, and then it's like it doesn't work out. And then someone else will come in your life, and it's like, oh, you didn't plan it. Maybe, I don't know, they're not even your type, but they're the right person at the right time. And this can be friends, partners, like whatever. And I think it's the same in like career. So like, I think like my reflection point here would be like, how is it going? Like, how's your energy levels, right? Is it, are you draining yourself for something? Are you pouring so much into something that doesn't give anything back to you? And if the answer is yes, then I don't know. I think it's worth thinking if that's what you want, right? When I chose my master's, it required moving to another country, but I barely looked into the program. Like, I didn't know anything about the country I was moving in. I didn't speak the language. I still don't, to be honest, but okay. I didn't, like, people were asking me like, oh, what are you going to study? And I was like, oh, international development and sustainable diplomacy or whatever. And I was like, oh, and what is that? And I was like, I don't know. But it's just like, I felt like that was the right thing. And it turned out not to be the right studying program, but it turned out to like be the right place for me to be in contact with like a certain community, certain people that I really aligned with me, with what I need, with what I needed at the point, and with what, with what I also need now. So yeah, I think now I'm just yabbing. Yabbing is that? I don't know. And I only have one last point before I end this. This yapping. I think that's not yabbing, but whatever. English is not my first language. Sorry. Anyways, the last thing, and this is like, I don't know. I didn't know. Like, I'll say it, but if it feels comfortable, do it. Otherwise, I don't know. But for me, it helped thinking back at my childhood. So I know maybe a childhood is not necessarily a safe place for everyone. It's not necessarily somewhere you want to go back to. So, you. But my suggestion would be, what were your dreams when you were a kid? What were your thoughts? What were you saying to yourself? Because for me, this only happened like, honestly, not long ago at all. But I started getting this like memories of, I don't know, some memories from my childhood that I was like, oh, this makes so much sense with what I'm doing now. When I was not maybe a kid, but like, I don't know, when I was like 11, 12, I maybe even a bit older, I don't remember. But I remember saying that when people ask me, "Oh, well, like, what do you want to do?" And I was like, I want to do good. I would literally say, I want to do good, and I want to leave this place, this world, a better place than what I found. And that's kind of like what, for me, what I then went on to study political sciences, and I wanted to get into diplomacy, and then more sustainable development and environmental like sustainability. And for me, that was all in this line of like, I want to do something meaningful. I want to help. But now I realize that that's not really the way I'm meant to help. Maybe, there's other ways. And another thing that I used to do as a kid, this is a bit like not awkward, but I used to be a lot into YouTube. I used to especially watch, if you know, you know, but I used to watch a lot of like Bethany Mota, Amanda Steele, Maddie Bragg, like all these American like YouTubers. And they were doing videos like, get ready with me for school and room tour. And by the way, it's getting dark, but whatever. And I remember like I used to like imitate them. So, like I would be, yeah, again, like maybe 11 or 12, and I would be in my bathroom, like getting ready, and I would pretend that I would be talking to someone, like to a camera. And I remember it one, I even filmed a room tour that I edited, but I never shared on YouTube. And so now me posting on YouTube, it's also like, I don't know, like that's something that I had in mind when I was a kid. So yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Yeah, well, thank you for listening. And I don't know, I feel like I have to say this, but like one last disclaimer, it's this is just a place for me to share my experience, and hopefully for other people to connect and share theirs. But I'm not a professional. I'm not qualified in any ways to give you advices about your life, about like anything. So always seek for professional help if that's what you feel would work best or you would benefit most with. But if this resonated with you, I would love for you to share, I don't know, some words about it or some nice encouragement as it is my first YouTube video. And yeah, I don't know, the thing everyone says, like click, like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.